We flipped a coin, okay? You and me. You and me. Coin flip is sacred.
Y'all ready for a show today, baby? Showtime, baby.
We've been waiting all week for this. This is where it happens right here, man. We man up, we stand up. We man up, we stand up. We all we got. We all we got. We all we got. We all we got. We all we got.
Hit anything that moves. We're playmakers, man. We advance, nothing less.
You don't like this? Trust me, you don't like it.
We're between the white lines. This is football. Welcome to the big league. I won the toss. I took the football. Drive it down that throat.
Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your skull?
Hey, every season is full of defining moments. Let's make this day a defining moment for us in our quest.
Game time! Game time!
Welcome everybody to week 13 of the coin flip. Up here on a beautiful Friday, December 3rd morning. We are on a record heat streak here in Oklahoma. It's actually nice. Gonna have a high about 78 today. Maybe squeeze out this afternoon, try to get a few holes in. My youngest, my little man's got a little sickness, potentially a little pink eye, so having to take care of him, so we'll see if I can get that done or not. Family first as always, but either way, it's a beautiful day out there. Hopefully it is great where you are. Great win by the Cowboys last night. Pretty much how I thought it would go. Had some pretty big sweat there in the final 3 or 4 minutes. Pick six was nice for the betting side, but kind of did me in on some of the big money that I was in. But decent day anyways. We move on. 2 college football games tonight. Bobby Burger dropped the Read Option Main Slate podcast this morning for tomorrow's 8-game slate that stretches from 11 a.m. my time all the way till probably 10, I think. Be a fun day of college football. We got UFC back after a little break. Tommy will get that article out as well. TVs will be rolling tomorrow. We'll have all kinds of action going on. And then while you guys are here, we have week 13 of the NFL slate, which did a little game-by-game preview with Ryan yesterday on the Hot Route. Highly recommend you go check that out. It was probably our best pod together so far, and some great information on it. Right now, use the code COIN, get 20% off any package that includes a 7-day free trial. Tremendous weekend to try it out. All kinds of college football, NFL, NBA, UFC. Golf is winding down, obviously. We got the little 20-man deal going. Looks like a packed leaderboard, but it'll be back before we know it. Only a few weeks off. Still got plenty of football to go through over the next few weeks, but if you don't like it after 7 days, you can cancel and you never get charged. Listener League is up. It is in the description. Click that. Get your 3 entries reserved for Sunday as well. Rate, review us on iTunes. We'll be doing some big giveaways as we. I'm gonna do at least one giveaway around Christmas time, and then we'll be doing some as we march towards Daytona 500 and the Masters once we flip the calendar to 2022. YouTube, always like and subscribe goes a good way. Leave me a comment in each video, and then get you into a drawing. Today, I want to know your favorite wide receiver on the board. Outside of Cooper Kupp. Tell me your favorite wide receiver. A lot of good matchups, a lot of good spots this week. Want to know where you want to go at wide receiver in the comments section. Underdog. Download the Underdog app. Link is in the description. Playoff best balls are back. They're about 30% full already. $50K in prizes. $10 to enter. Use the code GUP. Get a free dollar for dollar match up to $100. Get in there, get your playoff best balls going. They have daily pick'ems, parlays, mix and match the sports on the parlays, up to 20x your payout, especially if you don't have access to a legalized sports book yet. This is a good way to get into some of that action. Build up our bankroll for the big best balls that will be dropping next May. Normal format here. We do the playbook, plays, fades, and values, favorite stacks, favorite Super 7 lines, upset of the week, survivor of the week, Monkey Knife Fight play of the week, and then we move on out of here. Smaller pod, shorter pod, hit the high notes. Ryan and I go about 45 minutes to an hour, much more in depth. Both of them are great to listen to. Start off with quarterbacks. I like, talked about this yesterday with Ryan, I like paying down this week at quarterback. Brady doesn't excite me. He's going to be chalky. Stafford doesn't excite me. Being a big home favorite, they're going to run the ball a lot and be up. Kyler coming off a little rust, potential weather issue in that game as well, 80, 90% chance of rain. Hurts, I mean, if he was healthy and going, sure, I may have some, but we'll have to see about that. Lamar, I can always play some naked Lamar, and he's going to be low owned. But I like these 5 and 6K quarterbacks this week, and allows me to pay up for some of the guys I want, like a Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to kick it off. I like Cousins. I think I like Detroit to keep it within the 7.5 now. But I think Minnesota will be able to score, and they'll throw the ball maybe a hair more with Madison out. I mean, with Cook out and Madison in. I think Jefferson can do what he wants against the secondary. He did that the first game. For 6,500, you're not getting any rushing upside, but a low-owned guy who I think can have a really solid day. I like it. They're indoors in Detroit, so you don't have to worry about weather, even though he's on the road. It is a 1 o'clock game, so I'm not worried about that for Cousins. I'll go Cousins this week. My next one is Burrow. Love Cincinnati. Love that stack. Love them betting-wise, -3 as well, $6,300. I think this will be a great game in general. I like Mixon. I'll be stacking the Bengals many different ways. Burrow, Mixon, Higgins, Chase, Uzama, all kinds of stuff there that are viable. And then you can run it back with Allen or Williams or even Eckler. But, there's some options there for a stack and a run back for sure. Quarterback values, Jimmy G, I know Debo's out. But I'll kind of maybe force him to throw a little bit more. They're going to run the ball with Eli Mitchell. I like Eli. But $5,700, I think he can return that, and he does have rushing upside. Seattle's just done. Like, this season's over. I could see them laying an egg. San Francisco, that'd probably be the only worry, but at the 5,700, maybe he gets there. Maybe gets a rushing touchdown. Certainly an MME play, but I do like him at that price, and I like Tua. $5,500 at home against the Giants. Looks like Daniel Jones is going to be out. Joe's been playing really good. You can get some cheap stacks here, especially if you're wanting to go maybe Kupp or Taylor, one of those high-priced guys. Tua, Waddle, Gesicki, Gaskins, run it back with your favorite Giant. I'd like to see if Tony or Shepard or any of those guys will be playing. They're a walking mash unit, so you kind of have to wait till Sunday to see who's active. But I do like Tua for a value play number 2. My favorite now is Hurts, just because banged up, could play, but if he's taking away his biggest strength of running, I don't know how much I want to get a part of that, especially on the road. They'll probably look to run the ball with the running backs more, short passes, stuff like that. We'll see. I could come around that on Sunday. I'll update that as we get closer. If he does look like he's going to be fully active or fully healthy to go, but right now he'd be my fade. Quarterbacks, Jonathan Taylor. Running backs, Jonathan Taylor. I'm going there this week. I hope he just gets passed because of the price, but Ryan and I went in depth about that versus a 2-year ago McCaffrey type. He's flirting with some of those kind of numbers. Houston's not good. They should, close to double-digit favorite. They're going to run the ball, be up big. He's their red zone, goal line, everything inside the 5. Plenty of ways to get cheap this week without having to punt. So I like Taylor. I like Henderson. Kind of okay game last week, but didn't do much. I think most people will ignore him. Big favorites against Jacksonville at home. $6,100. I'll go back there. Madison's probably one of the. I don't know how chalky he'll get. It'll be interesting to see because they did price him up correctly, $7,600. So maybe that keeps people off of him. But he had a great game. Ironically, Cook missed the first Lions game. If you go back and look at the stats, he had a great game there. So I'll go back to him, especially if he's going to be low owned. And I like the Vikings stack, so that's a good piece. And then Mitchell, already talked about it. Eli Mitchell, $6,000 even. Don't mind pairing him up with Taylor or Madison or Henderson or mix and match in those 4. And he got some good values. My 3 value picks this week, I like Gaskins. Already mentioned him. Jamal Williams is a guy that I think can get in and out of the backfield. $5,400 for the Lions. They'll probably have to throw some. He's not swift by any means. You're really hoping for more of some passing game. But I don't mind him. I think he'll be able to run a little bit on the Vikings. He actually had a pretty good game, even with Swift in it, if you go back and look. And Ryan and I went into that game really in depth yesterday. So I'll go Jamal Williams for $5,400. And then last, Coleman. I don't mind Coleman, $4,500. Gets the Eagles. I don't know if I get there for sure, but I always like to give someone that's super cheap down there if you're really looking. He's one of the guys I do like. I know he's battling for some, with other guys in that backfield, Ty Johnson and stuff, but He did look good last week when he had the ball. He's going to be a 1%er, $4,500. If you really need a punt, he's the guy I would look at. My fade's Eckler, and it's not because like anti-Eckler. I said this yesterday. I'd pay $200 less for Mixon at home in that same game, all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. So I'm going to take Mixon for $200 cheap there, and so there's not many chances I want to go up to Eckler in a situation. I just go all the way up to Taylor for $900 more. Because I like Taylor and Mixon a lot this week, so especially in the stacks I want to do. So he just kind of gets squeezed out for me. He's going to be fairly popular, and maybe he's a run it back in an MME deal for me with the Bengals, but that gets into an expensive stack plus run back. So we'll see. Not going to be very high on him. I'll be lower than the field for sure. Wide receivers, Jefferson, maybe my favorite play on the slate. I think he has a monster game against Detroit. Hence the reason why I like Cousins. He is $8,200. I don't mind paying up for him. I'll have plenty this week. Mike Evans, I'll go back there once again, about the same price as Godwin. But Godwin continues to get the love and the ownership. He'll probably be at least 1.5x, if not 2x higher owned. We'll see. Maybe by Sunday that changes some and people come back. But I like Evans. I'll take him if I'm going to get into that game script, which looks to be the obvious chalk of the week is any kind of Bucks stack. But if I do like one, he's the one. Go back to T. Higgins. We finally got T. Higgins week. Maybe people will say, oh, I missed T. Higgins week, so I'm going to move off of him now. $5,800, 5% owned in my current projections. I like Chase, don't get me wrong, and I'll have some of him in stacks, but Higgins is my favorite for half the ownership and $1,200 less. He gets targeted more than anybody on that team, and I don't see that changing Sunday. Pittman's still too cheap for me for the Colts. He's my last wide receiver I like here, $5,700. I don't think Colts will have to throw much, but I do think he can get a touchdown, have a really decent day at that price. Mini stack with him and Taylor, maybe run it back with Cooks or something like that from Houston if you want to, but don't have to, not necessary. Values for me, I like Bateman, $4,900. I think he's going to have a really good day or big day at some point. If I go Lamar, I'd probably try to get him or Andrews. You don't have to stack Lamar by any means, but I do think Bateman is getting a lot of those targets and quick close routes, stuff like that. So I like that a lot. Juwan Jennings with Debo out, $3,100. I think probably pick up some steam in the ownership, but I do like him, especially in the San Francisco stack. I think he'll get involved a little bit more. Then Reynolds. I'll go back to Reynolds. I'll run back a Viking stack with Reynolds. I think what we saw on Thanksgiving wasn't, illusion. I think Goff and Reynolds has some kind of little connection there. And at that price, he really didn't get a bump. I'll certainly go back to him, and especially in a Viking stack. But I'll play him as a one-off. And right now, my fade's Cup, just because I think LA will be up. They'll dominate. If I'm going to spend $9,000 this week, I'd probably rather go Taylor for $9,200 in the backfield. And just take my chance that Coop doesn't have one of those monster games this week. And hopefully the Rams are running it a lot in the third and fourth quarter up big. Tight ends, I like Gronk. Still think he's too cheap. I'm not going to overthink that. I'm not probably going to be stacking Bucks, but I don't mind like having a good solid, 49er stack, Viking stack, Dolphin stack, and then putting a Gronk in there, putting an Evans in there, where I still get a little piece of that. But I don't have to go all in on that chalk. And I think Gronk at 5,300 is my favorite tight end play of the week. And I still like Kettle. I think he'll get more involved now, especially with Debo out. Love him in the stacks, but you can play him one-off. I talked about with Ryan yesterday that this is a week you do not want to restrict 2 tight ends in your lineup. You got Gronk, Pitts, Kettle, Higbee, Goddard, Andrews, Hawkinson, Foster Moreau filling in for Waller, Zach Ertz with Kyler coming back, Gesicki, Uzma, and the Bengals staff. I mean, there's a lot of tight ends that are in play this week for me. They're just as good as some of the wide receivers that are comparable in price. So I do like Kettle. I think he'll have a good week. I like Ertz, especially if Kyler's back. It looks like Kyler's going to be back. He's going to be 3 or 4%. A little bit higher price. That's probably keeping some people off, but Kyler likes him. He hit him up when he came in game 1. I think, especially as Kyler is getting back into the flow of real action, that'll be a good safety blanket for him. So I like Ertz there. Fade. Actually, I just said there's a ton here, so it'd probably come down to ownership. And right now, the two that are popping out are Cole Kmet or Foster Moreau. Probably lean fading Kmet just because of the potential rain situation there. Arizona can put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I like a lot of tight ends. I like mixing and matching this week, so I'm not like all in on anything fade wise. But I'll move off that high ownership when we get final ownership put out Saturday night and then update Sunday morning. Defenses for me, the pay ups. Dolphins at home against the Giants. I think they'll be, probably the highest owned defense, especially with Daniel Jones out now. Think they'll put a lot of pressure on Glennon. I like the Cardinals. They're going to be on the road, sloppy, wet, nasty. But they can put pressure on people. Going to be probably a low-scoring game. We'll see if the weather holds up. But either way, those are the two I do like paying up for. Value, I'd probably go Jets, even though I like the Eagles. Jets at home at $2,500. They can make a few things happen. They've been swarming the ball and doing decent enough that paying down for them doesn't hurt me. And then probably either the football team or Bengals would be my second there. You got $2,800 for Bengals, $2,500 for football team. So it's a few options there if you're looking around at defenses on Sunday. Gut feel plays for me. Matt Ryan, I go back to him against Tampa Bay. They're obviously double-digit dogs at home. I think they keep it within the spread. They probably won't win. We know that, but I don't mind him at $5,600. He's going to be 3% or so. Just got a good feeling he may have a really good game. Probably throw a lot. I think Patterson gets more involved in the passing game this week. Pitts, gut feel. I like him. It looks like Chase Edmonds is going to be out, so I don't mind. Talked about him before. I think he'll get some carries with Connor in there. I mean, this is a dead minimum 4K, so it's a punt, MME punt. But if I'm building 50 lineups or something like that, I'm going to have some sprinkles of him. He's going to be less than 1% owned. He can bust one out. So he's a guy that I don't mind putting off. I still like Mooney. Watch the weather there for sure, but he's a guy that could still have a decent game. $5,600, not on much radar. Osborne could be a good stack filler for the Vikings. 2%, $3,400. He's cheap. If you don't want to go Thielen and Jefferson or something like that, you could put him in there. Zay Jones, getting involved. He's doing enough to be around there. I wrote all these up before Ryan and I pod to do that on purpose, and he mentioned Treadwell, and I do like his thoughts there at $3,200. So I'll throw that in there, but I'll give him credit. But Zay Jones is also $3,200. Both those guys I think are good little MME flyer options. Favorite stack for me, it's probably pretty obvious. I like the Vikings and the Bengals this week. I'll have plenty of team stacks there. My sneaky stack would be the Dolphins. I don't mind Tua, Waddle, Gesicki, mix in some Gaskins, something like that, and potentially run back one of these wide receivers or something. We'll see who's healthy for the Giants. Favorite Super 7 lines, Bengals -3, 49ers -3.5. We are coming down the stretch with that. I think I'm top 25 now or 26, something like that. So hoping to make a little bit of a move. My upset of the week, I like Washington as underdogs to beat the Raiders in Las Vegas. Survivor, I talked about my heartbreak last week. Was down between the Eagles and Falcons. It went last second. It was last second. It went Eagles. Literally almost a coin flip. That didn't work out. If I had taken the Falcons, I think I'd be one of like 9 left or something in that massive pool. So a little disappointed there, but if you're still alive, you're probably thin. You may still have like the Colts. They're double-digit favorites, I believe. Close to double-digit favorites, 9.5. And then maybe the Cardinals. Obviously, if you're still alive and you still have Rams, Bucks, teams like that, you go at those for sure. Most people this time probably don't have them. Monkey Knife Fight, link is in the description. They also are doing a dollar for dollar match up to $100 with the code GUPS, G-U-P-S on this one. UFC Knockout Kings is back tomorrow. Pick 3 fighters to win by KO or TKO and win a share of a rollover jackpot that starts at $5,000. My college favorite play of the week is Pickett over 335.5 yards. This is a 4X on the main slate. Hartman over 303.5 yards, and Addison over 119.5 yards. My NFL play of the week, this is a more or less, I believe it's the early slate. Jonathan Taylor over 100.5 yards, and Joe Mixon over 85.5 rushing yards. So those are my two favorite plays. You can check out Tommy's article, pick your 3 fighters there that you think will get a knockout, and jump into that Knockout Kings jackpot on Monkey Knife Fight as well. Link is in the description. Code is GUPS, G-U-P-S, dollar for dollar match up to $100. As I mentioned, Coin gets you 20% off, includes a risk-free 7-day trial. Hot Route dropped yesterday. College football is out this morning. I'll be around all day today and tomorrow. Excited for college football championship weekend. And then Sunday will be action-packed as we look forward to the Final Four announcement. Plus, Ryan and I will be in the GC Warrior room answering all your questions as we go up to lock on Sunday morning. Appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have an awesome Friday and a blessed weekend. I will be back Monday with another Cup with Gup, and I'll be around all weekend with the content per usual. Come check us out if you want to right now. Again, Coin 20% off. Risk-free 7-day trial. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Thanks.